Hey, welcome to IMO, In My Opinion, with J&M, and our guest is checking her phone.
She's already bored.
This is how we start.
I was pulling up the list, so we're on the
Man.
No, she's already bored. It's all right.
Man, we got a great start going on.
The attack is real tonight. The attack is real tonight.
John, how are you, man?
You can hear that, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't think that through. To stick a bonbon in my mouth right before I start talking. Bonbon.
A bonbon? Okay. How you doing?
What do you call it?
I call it a what's the word would you say? There we go. That's what it is. A cough drop?
In Spanish.
Ricolai. Ricolai.
But you have to do that with the like
Ricolai.
the way that they did it on the commercial.
Oh, I can't. There you go. And for both of y'all. How you doing, man? You still want to?
The attack is real today.
Do you still? Maybe you should.
It's coming from that side.
If you want to man the soundboard, hey,
no,
let me know. Are you gonna answer my question, or am I gonna move on? I don't care about how you're doing.
Am I good? No, my allergies are kicking my ass. Might have fleas and ticks in my hair. I don't know.
There's a lot of that
Hence
white stuff.
Hence the hat.
No, I always
hat is because he's starting to look like me. Bald.
That is not true. No, not true.
Can I give you a fun tip about your allergies?
What?
So rumor has it, granted, this is just a rumor. If you eat a spoonful of local honey, you're basically putting in the pollinated honey, like you're building your immune system to it, and it helps kind of reduce some of those allergies.
I like that.
Taking but it has to be local, like local to your area.
Nutrition 101 here.
Is there a?
I like it.
Is there a?
So it's instead of
like something that's fresh,
taking too many drugs, because
I get it.
Bees pollinate.
No, yeah, I understand the concept. I just don't know where I would find Illinois honey.
Start a bee farm in your backyard. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of, never mind. I don't know where I was going.
We have a bee farm. We have
a guest today.
Somebody that has nothing to do with
teach
bees.
us about honey. She's an old friend of mine. When I met her a long time ago at the great company of Best Buy. When we worked together as children. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hey, I'm Vanessa
Regalado.
Regalado, yes, you're welcome. A gift to the world, apparently.
I like it.
Again, not my chosen name, but I accept it proudly. So we, as you stated, we met, not gonna name how long ago, at Best Buy, because we're workaholics, and that's life. And currently I am a flight attendant, amongst other things. So
that's awesome.
I flew in just for this.
No, you didn't.
Did you really? Yes, I did.
How much did that cost you?
That was a mistake. That was a big mistake.
Oh, no, shut up. See, you just give our production a bad name, but that's okay.
No, I think the setup is pretty nice. You guys got a good system going on here.
It's a work in progress. We've come a long way. Yeah. So let's talk about that, because I find it kind of interesting, like being a flight attendant. So
a stewardess, an air hostess.
You've been. I've seen you post a lot of pictures. You've been like every freaking where.
You know what? Not everywhere, but it's on my list.
How many countries have you been in?
I counted recently, and I've been to 38.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one right now that you'd be like, I can go there every day.
False. No, I could pick at least 4 that I can go to on a daily basis. But one, let's see, Bali in Indonesia as
Beautiful.
a country,
Okay.
amazing. Greece.
Classic.
I love Scotland. I just love Scotland. It's always a good time. It's always a fun time. Not one bad story there.
A lot of alcohol there, isn't there? Like
No
isn't that the whole stigma? Like,
No comment. And I would have to say, besides that, Italy.
Italy, classic.
Yeah, it hits a lot of the nostalgia for me. So.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's like a historic place. I mean, it's like going to like Rome and places like that. Like, it's just things that have been there for so long. It's like you have no other
stuff you learn about in history, but
so
it's
to
pretty
actually
interesting
see it
seeing
is
in
kind of
person.
crazy. Why? Whoa! What made you want to do that? Just it's great. I need a job.
What made me want to do it? I don't know if you recall, but at the time I was working with the Park District here locally, and I
remember that.
I loved the concept of not having a general office, not going in 9 to 5, kind of making your own schedule, working with the general public. And one day, a friend of mine over drinks heard me talking ill of my job for the first time in probably a decade. And
I hear the guy across the table talking all the time about his job.
Super ill.
So she recommended to me, she's like, at the time she was a flight attendant, and she's like, why don't you try this? I was bartending, I was doing all kind of stuff, and I was just like, I feel like I'm meant for something different. And staying in Chicago, there's a stigma here where things kind of don't change. So I went for it, and within 2 weeks I was packing my stuff to go to training.
Nice.
I have no regrets, and I think it's
who do you work for?
United.
That's pretty cool.
I love my company. I'm blessed to be with them.
That's not a bad gig, man. That is not a bad gig.
Yeah. There are worse, for sure. It's not a bad gig.
Yes, there are worse.
Yes.
I think
I can't complain about my job.
A lot of things is perception too, on like what you like, what you enjoy doing, what your job choice is, and if you're happy to wake up to go to work, or if you're like, oh my God, why am I doing this again?
I'm definitely not perceiving that my job sucks. My job really does suck.
I agree with you. I think you have to. Oh, here's the bad part. The thing is, the typical Hispanic ideal, right? You go to high school, you graduate high school, and you go into the workforce. That's kind of how the guys, at least for my part, like I'm pretty sure John would agree with me.
Oh yeah.
That's how we perceive them. Basically we like turn into our dads. You know what I'm saying? Like we just work, whatever. At least in my case, I try to do something fun. So like my acting stuff is kind of my escape or whatever. That's the fun part. Even though
you're definitely a character, so I'm surprised you never took off. Because
I don't know why I never took.
You're a
to
character for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's saying that in a good way or bad way.
I think we don't have to talk on that. I just think that it was pretty clear. It's a character.
I'm like, again, it's just something I wanted to. I never thought of doing it when I was a kid. And then I don't know. One day I just woke up and was like, fuck it. If I fail at it, I fail at it. If I don't, if I'm successful at it.
That's a great concept to have. And I think you nailed it when you said that growing up in Spanish households is you're, especially first generations, like you're just meant to work, and then you replicate what you're taught, and it's just work until you die, provide. And we don't realize that, especially now in this day and age, the information era, there's so many more opportunities for that. Like I never thought, genuinely, as ignorant as it may sound, I never thought that I could be somebody who worked on an airplane. Like now it's looking at it like, why, if had I known this earlier, I would have been a pilot.
I know exactly how you feel, because that's how I felt. Like literally, okay, now I haven't done much professionally. I've done a few things, right? And to be on a set, at a production like PD or whatever, or what was the other show I was on, Night Sky, whatever. When you get there and you're like, shit, like you could actually do this. Like why didn't I pick this?
Be myself? This is amazing.
I mean, why didn't I pick this up when I was like 18 instead of working at fucking Best Buy? Well, they had an amazing discount though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And one thing I think that people don't realize, and working with the general public and in customer service, you're literally acting every single day.
Yeah, because we're all miserable. Like we actually want to be nice to these people.
But it's not even necessarily like, oh, we're miserable. It's you get a customer who gives you lip or makes you feel less than, or who's just blatantly disrespectful, and you literally have to bite your tongue and just take it and be like, let me direct you to someone else.
Not gonna happen.
John, you don't talk.
Can I clarify something first?
Go.
When I said ticks and fleas, I work in like long, tall grass. That's why I said I'm not. I keep up with myself.
I forgot that you had even mentioned that, to be honest.
No, they'll remember.
But thank you for clarifying that.
Our 3 watchers will remember.
We're a little past 3 watchers. Stop it.
300, 300. I don't know.
5,000. Get it right. Any like weird story? I mean, obviously, hopefully nothing ever happens that's negative in the air, because obviously that's a big thing. Mm-hmm. You ever have any scares up there?
Yeah.
Any emergency landing kind of things?
Yes.
Can you talk about them?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we all survived.
No. I just want to make sure it's not like against company policy or anything.
Company policy per anything is like you're smart. You don't talk ill of your job.
Okay.
Period. But I do love what I do, so I have no intention of talking ill on it. But we did have a moment where one of our landing gears, like wasn't something with the wing wasn't working properly. And we got that call that we are trained to do. And luckily I was coming in from Scotland with classmates of mine that I had graduated with. And so we all trusted each other. We were trained together. We knew that we were doing this. Because one thing about when you step onto that aircraft, unlike working like a 9 to 5, this is probably the first time you're meeting your other crew members, your other colleagues. So you trust that you have the same training and comprehension that each of them have. So, there's no extensive, all right, let me see what you're qualified to do. No, if you're here, you're qualified to do it. So there's a lot of trust going in.
Hopefully.
So upon landing, we got the call like, hey, it might be a little rough. We need to prepare for probably a belly landing. And we were like, oh no. So emergency landing, we did everything that we needed to do that we're trained for. Because at the end of the day, although people think that all we do is just open pop cans all day, we're trained for safety first. We need to evacuate that plane within less than 90 seconds and rescue everyone, including ourselves. So it comes into play where, okay, now it's time to act in on the things that we were taught to do. We prepared, we prayed, and we were like, all right, let's do this. And I have to tell you, to this day, it was the smoothest landing I had ever experienced.
So what, did you end up belly landing or no?
No, we didn't.
It wouldn't have been smooth.
Maybe she's comparing it to a different situation that was worse or whatever.
The gear, the part that didn't work, it didn't work, but the pilots were so skilled at what they did that we landed so smoothly. And there were fire trucks on the ground, there were, ambulance on the ground. They were ready for something bad. And that's what aviation can be. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen the weather lately. It has been really bad in the sky. Turbulence is insane.
I will say that's kind of a weird job, because I'm like, dude, like if you're on a plane, right? Like there's nowhere to go, right? So it's like something's happening up in the sky. Like, where are you going? Like, where are you gonna go?
I was gonna say, when they landed, they probably saw the guy with the body bags kind of like scurrying away.
No, we don't need him. Go back. No, man, that's gotta be like, again, kudos to you guys, because you guys do it every day. But I'm like, it's like one of those situations, even as a passenger, right? You get on a plane. You are at the mercy of the pilot, of the weather or whatever happens. I feel
like in order to be a passenger, you really are accepting that you're relinquishing control. Yeah. And that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of our passengers who get on, especially people who like to control everything, if something doesn't kind of go their way, they are upset. And I mean like upset. We have a lot of anxiety attacks that happen in the air. We have a lot of confused passengers and people who will blatantly just tell us like, hey, I need alcohol because I'm a bad flyer. And a lot of it comes down to they don't have control.
I'm sorry, what do you mean by confused flyers? I thought we were going to Indiana. We're going to India? What's going on?
Confused in the sense that as of late, due to the pandemic, there's a lot of people who are booking first-time tickets, who haven't been on an airplane in God knows how long, and just don't entirely know how things work. We've had delays due to weather, and literally, my favorite part is, why are we delayed to the weather? There's not a cloud in the sky. And it's like, well, pull up the weather for the time from point A to point B.
Yeah, where you going?
And you'll see that hurricane in the middle we can't go through. So confused in the sense that people, I think, have a tendency to forget they don't have control over this situation. And they try to kind of nitpick at the things they can control. Now, for the three of us, let's say we're in economy for whatever reason. And you're in the middle seat.
That's all I could. That's why. Look, what do you mean?
I do not care if I get put on the wing as long as I get to where I am trying to go safely. I don't care. But let's say you're sitting in the middle. You're by the window. I'm at the end. I'm passed out. You have to pee. He's, you both shoulders on the side. Like immediately tensions start flaring. You're uncomfortable. You don't feel safe. You have no control over what's happening. You have to wake me up in order to get off. I could be mad, whatever the case is. So there's a lot of confused flyers in the sense like one thing I learned in aviation is common sense is not common. And unfortunately, people are not as respectful as they should be. And they kind of forget that like, this is not your home. This is not your car. This is not a place where you can raise your voice, stomp your feet, and we're just going to give you what you want. It's more in the sense of like, you have to have common courtesy towards the person next to you. Because as you said, it can be dangerous. Thank God, honestly, I'd rather be in an airplane than on a car in some of these streets.
But I do hear that's like one of the safest forms of travel, if not the safest. I think it might be.
It's a lot safer than driving.
No, of
a lot
course, yeah,
safer
but
than
we also
driving.
don't spend as she's an exception, right? Because she's actually works there, so she goes there all the time.
It's
But
a
like
lot.
for us, how many times do we fly a year?
There's a lot safer than going 35 miles an hour on a scooter too.
Oh, I love that though. That's
Wait a
so
minute.
much
Wait a minute.
fun.
What's wrong with that?
I love that.
He's gonna eat asphalt one day.
He gets mad
On a
because not
scooter?
mad.
Don't get
yeah,
mad.
I got a
Like on the
scooter.
Lime scooters?
What's kind of like that, but like on steroids. So like John on steroids. No, it's yeah, it's like a Lime scooter, but like I bought one and it goes a lot faster than the Lime
Listen,
ones.
as somebody who got into an accident in Thailand because of a motorbike, those yeah, you're gonna.
But that's
you're gonna,
super crowded
hit.
though. Those
You're
are
gonna
super
hit.
crowded streets, aren't they?
There was nobody on my street. I had no business racing or doing what I was doing, and the fact that I left with my collarbone and kept my life, I'll happily take that.
This is why I'm gonna invest in a motorcycle helmet because I need to protect. The
You
face.
don't have one?
I wear a helmet. It's not a full face helmet.
Wear a full face one.
I'm going to because like I was one time I came because the thing is, well, you know, gas is fucking ridiculous right now, right? So like
It's actually more expensive here than it is in New York or New Jersey.
it's fucked up.
It is.
Anyway, that's a topic for another day. Thank you, Uncle Biden. I'm kidding. I'm not saying that in particular.
She made a face. She
She
made a
did
face.
make a face.
You guys can afford economy? I go with the cargo. I fucking sneak on.
By the way, speaking of Biden, did anybody catch him on Jimmy Kimmel? Did you catch him on Jimmy Kimmel?
I really don't watch TV.
No.
He I think he has
Dementia.
yeah, because like you really like it's funny because like Jimmy will try to press him on a topic or whatever, and then he starts talking about his dad. I'm like, I don't care about your dad, bro. Like I fine, your dad, I got you, but like I don't care about your dad. I want you to talk about what he asked you.
Is his
Stop telling
dad-
the story about your dad.
Is his dad still with us?
I don't know. I don't think so. He's like
If
80 something, right? I mean, your dad would be.
If only we had devices that could tell us this.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was I going at with that? Anyways,
I
have a scooter that goes 30. I think it goes up to like 38 miles an hour. And I use it to try to come here because I live by Belmont Craig and I'm like, well, gas is expensive. I could just ride my scooter here. I didn't ride it today because I thought it was gonna rain. But like, I need to ride electric nowadays, man. This shit's expensive. My car only has like 11 gallons of gas, and I spent like goddamn almost, I don't know, $80, $70 or whatever. But I got to put premium, so whatever.
Yo también. Yeah, I get that.
You know, so.
I have about 12 gallons, and literally it breaks my heart every time.
Dude, I heard that they're having to reprogram the price things on in case we get to over $10 because they can't technically display $10 right now.
Can I ask? I mean, my sister drives a Jeep Wrangler, and we put
That gas
the other
guzzler
day.
you just drove in.
Listen, don't come
2
for
miles
her.
to the-
Don't come for her.
2 miles a gallon. That's a nice car.
Let her live her best
No,
Wrangler
it's a nice
life.
car. It's a nice car.
She actually got ducked for the first time today, so that was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting experience. But
I don't know what that means.
so they have this community where, like, if they like your car or if they recognize you for something, they give you like this cute little rubber ducky, like you got ducked.
Yeah. You
It's
know?
a thing.
What the fuck
It's
are you
like
talking about?
it's like okay.
It's a whole nother culture.
Here's the thing.
It's a whole nother
It's
culture.
when you have a car that's like I don't want to say niche. Is that did I say it right?
Niche.
Niche.
Yes.
Car. So like let's say Honda Civics, for example. Honda Civics, if you drive a Honda Civic, you are automatically included into this community of Honda Civic cars. That's who you are.
Street racers.
Yeah. So like my car they have a group, right? The Ford STs have a group. Every time you see an ST, someone's flashing their lights at me. We pass each other or whatever. We say hi to each other.
Ooh, how
or
about
whatever.
my car? My
Nobody
race
gives
car.
a shit about your car.
No.
I'll give you
Fuck it then.
I'll give you that.
Fuck it.
Just like,
I think that's cool though. My car does that I'm aware of. We don't have like a culture like that.
what do you drive?
An Audi.
An Audi? Yeah, but that's like you're in his category. 'Cause y'all got these luxury
No,
cars, man.
Well,
These-
I
it's a
didn't
little bit
purchase
better
it
than
with
mine.
the intention of like I want to stun on people or I want to be luxurious. Honestly, after my accident, it was the only car that I felt at the time safe in to like ride curves and everything like that.
So you drive a truck?
No, I
What's
have
the car?
a little A3. She's tiny. She's small, but she's mighty.
She's
she
an Audi
fits
though.
anywhere.
She's an Audi.
The way you turn that wheel and the way she hugs those curbs, it just makes me feel so much safer.
You want to race? I'm kidding. No.
Negative.
I'm kidding.
Like in your scooter?
I mean, if you give me 2 streets head start, I might beat you to the next light. Maybe.
Yeah.
You got 2 options. You can race with him or we can have a nice leisurely cruise because he says I got an old man
Listen,
car.
A nice
You do have an
leisurely
old man.
cruise is
You do have an old man.
underrated. Let me tell you, my sister and I just did it down Lakeshore Drive. It's windows down.
This is why I like my scooter. I love. Okay, so like my normal drive.
You like your hair in the wind too.
See,
his beard hair.
Oh my god, you know what?
You have beard hair.
You know,
Is that not
that's
hair?
what she meant.
Is that not hair?
That's not what she meant.
Is that not hair?
It is hair, but I know
Is
it's
there not
what
hair
she
on
meant.
your face?
Mm-hmm.
Right there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I love riding the scooter. Like my normal ride is like I'll get on the 606 and I'll make it to the Sears Tower, go down to wherever, come back. I love that. Like that's so much fun. Like until you're on one, John, you can't talk because it is the most fun thing to drive.
Have you not been on one?
I can run fast.
Not that fast.
Have you really not tried it?
No.
At all?
I think I would look stupid on it.
No. Come on, don't do that to yourself.
I'm like 5'6", 5'7", 230 pounds on a little ass scooter. I don't know. It just doesn't look right.
It doesn't matter, dude. Dude,
I think
just
it's the
look
way
at
you just
if you
downplayed
want to be
yourself.
if you want to be safe, because I know the 38 intimidates you, right? I got it. That's
38
fine.
intimidates
We'll
me.
rent one of the Lyft ones that are in downtown right now. We'll go on a weekend. We'll just go up and down Lakeshore Drive on the bike path.
I don't think you should do that
Oh, you
on
can't
a
do
weekend.
that though. You can't do it on the bike path.
I don't think you should do that on a weekend.
Depends on where you go. If you go into the business district, it's pretty empty.
Okay.
Like if you go like to the Sears Tower, it's
the
kind of
first
empty.
time I ever got to experience one of those cool things was actually in Tel Aviv, Israel, and like they have we were staying wasn't too far off from Jaffa, and like you could see it off to the distance, and it's like, oh, it's going to be a 50-minute walk or a 10-minute scooter ride. So we went, and those things pick up, like they pick up speed, but it was, I'm riding with other crew members. We're all getting along, fun. Like, honestly, it felt like being a kid again on a bicycle and just like riding up and down the streets.
Well, I'll be the kid with the kick one.
Oh God!
And I'll just be 10 minutes behind the whole time, but I'll be safe.
Vanessa, the first time I ever rode one of those, I rented them with one of my friends, and we rode all the way. We went on this. Well, you couldn't get on the 606, but like we followed the 606 all the way wherever we went, and I kid you not, I could not stop smiling that entire ride because it was so much fun.
What off the back of your head, what are one of your simple pleasures? Wait, hey, I love the gym. Gym is a form of self-care and therapy for me.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, like, can you recall the last time you did something that just made you smile and feel in love with life in that moment?
Oh, Jesus.
Really?
See, you need to
What
get
about
out
you?
more. You see how he doesn't spend money for
Hold on.
anything.
Okay, so you said the first time you got on that scooter. There's a almost like a childlike feeling of this innocence of like you're just really enjoying the moment. You're really just there in the moment.
Okay, I got it. The roller coaster. I can't speak today.
Roller
coaster at Six Flags when I took my kid. I felt like a kid again.
See,
threw my arms up in the
so
air.
a simple pleasure. I mean, waiting in the line sucks, but a simple pleasure. It's like the same thing. Think about it. When you were kids, that's when like the scooters came out, and I think everyone had one, whatever the case was. Now they motorized
those kick ones with the fucking what were they called? The little wheels with the little razors. Yeah,
it made it easier.
Bro, those are fun, man. I'm telling you, you got to try it at least once.
At least once.
I promise you'll survive. It only goes 15.
Gotta be an open parking lot. Nothing very smooth.
You don't have to push it. You don't have to push it to the max. You don't. You decide how fast or slow you go.
Yeah,
you
bro,
don't have to kick it all the way
bro.
into gear.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyways, let's go into the topics you wanted to talk about a little bit today.
You asked.
You got some interesting ones.
You asked for a list. I just provided.
You suck at segues, by the way.
Probably. Hey,
Segways scare me.
Segway, like an actual Segway, like the ones you lean forward or whatever. No, that's what she's talking about.
Oh,
I know what she's talking about. I know what she's talking about.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
it's like a real Segway, like the ones, the riding ones.
So one time when I worked on the lakefront, there was a tour gone wrong, and like they all ended up in the water, like those because they couldn't control them. Like those things scare me.
A Segway is the same as a scooter.
No,
it just has two fucking wheels that are paired.
It's the same thing. It's just I think
you
the
don't
difference
steer
is
it
like
the
you
same way.
push it with your body weight. That's
you know what that's like? It's like those little hoverboards that the kids use. You ever ride one of those?
No.
I wouldn't ride that. That seems hard to drive because you gotta
get on a scooter. You think I'm gonna be my fat ass is gonna be on a hoverboard?
I didn't say fat ass, but okay.
Sometimes.
I mean, look at all I'm saying. To me, that's a little more challenging because you have to use your feet to do this type of thing. I'm accustomed to steering something. You know, as adults, we steer cars, motorcycles, whatever. That's a common thing. Bicycles, whatever. It's all familiar. Steering with your feet, doing this moneria shit is like
that's what happens if you have an itch or your foot goes the wrong way or God knows what.
You know who would have been great at driving one of those? Michael Jackson. Too bad he didn't fucking.
Dude, he can do the moonwalk with you. Standing straight.
Imagine how fast he would go. He could lean all the way forward.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Aerodynamic.
There.
Anyways, so you wanted to talk about your first topic that you gave, which is an interesting topic. It's an interesting topic. Hold on, it's an interesting topic. And you're in an even more interesting point because you travel so much, right?
Modern day
dating. What's your
You
issue?
wanna know?
I mean, what do you think
What
of
is
modern day?
it?
What is modern day?
I
dating?
can
Let's
already
just go
tell
ahead.
what your issue is.
What's my issue?
You're not in one place for a very long.
Okay, so here's.
So where do you reside? You're not here.
No, I reside in New Jersey.
Nice.
Oh, in New Jersey.
That's where I'm based.
Sorry.
Where I'm based. But again, as somebody who you just claimed is never here, what does it matter where my address is?
Right, because she
Because
could just fly there.
I can literally be anywhere.
Mama was a Rolling Stone.
She's got a good point. She's got a very good
so,
point.
it's kind of triggering actually when people say things like that, like you're never home.
Damn, go beat your ass,
No,
boy.
it's more in the
No. It's not a problem for me.
No. It's not saying it like that. It's just triggering because it's literally when it comes to modern dating and my lifestyle. That's the first thing I get is, well, you're never home or your schedule's crazy before there's ever any intention of actually setting up a date and getting to meet me. I'm already written off.
See, I said it would be interesting in your case. I said it was interesting in your case because you have a rare opportunity to meet so many different people because you travel so much. I'm the opposite of what he's saying. I'm on your side. I'm on your side.
That's why when we were discussing off camera, where you're saying, going 5 minutes away is too far for you, it makes me laugh because I know people who commute into other countries for the loves, or dates or things like that.
Sure. No, yeah. I think, you know what? You're in a different position though because you have access to travel. Long distance relationships, in my opinion, right? With someone like you, could work, obviously, because she can actually get to you, right? But if you're in a long distance relationship with the average person who isn't working in the aviation field, who you have to plan and meet once a month, maybe twice a month, whatever, that can be stressful.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. Again, if someone lives by Great America, I'm sorry, this isn't going to work. Especially with gas prices today.
It's kind of interesting you say that because it's also, living in Jersey and like dating in New York. There's people who will literally be like, oh, you got to cross the bridge? No, thank you. And it's like, wow, to go 9 miles, it takes like an hour plus. So people are like, no, I don't want to do that. That's too much effort.
I wonder if it's because you have a whole different perspective because you travel millions of miles, you know what I'm saying? So I think you have a unique perspective.
It might be a trust issue too, right?
I think
You're gone for so long.
There's a stigma with the aviators and aviation life, and
I can see that.
it's a huge trust issue, huge stigma. But in my way of thinking, I'm here and there. You're actually forming relationships with your coworkers. It's almost easier for you than it is for me.
What do you mean?
Like to cheat on somebody. Or to
that is true.
Wait. Say it again.
So
she's working, but you're home by yourself the whole
so
time.
It's like
so
the whole,
you can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
It's the whole
you're
wrestler career or
you're
whatever.
Building relations with people, like coworkers or people you see on a daily basis.
Sure.
Whereas me, it's different. And even though I am gone, quite often, whatever the case is, it also depends. I have the luxury currently to pick my own schedule. So if I can be home every night, I could do that. I just, don't have to be, so I'm not.
Oh, that makes sense.
Plus,
that's pretty
the
cool.
best thing about dating people like me is if we like you enough and we put you on our benefits, when I decide to go to a weekend to Italy, you come with me.
That's nice. That is really nice.
Which also is a downfall. You have to pick and choose who you're giving these passes to because sometimes people will date you for that
just
alone.
For that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would be that guy.
I've actually been proposed to in an airport.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
if he had a ring, maybe I would have said yes, but no.
By a stranger?
By a stranger. He saw that I had a crew tag. I was in uniform. He starts asking questions, and he genuinely, with all seriousness, was like, are you married? I said, no. And he's like, would you get married for a business transaction? And I'm like, sorry, what? Sir, you don't even know my name. And he's like, well, think, my parents live here and I got to travel. And I was like, no, thank you. But he kept going with it, like really try to get me to convince, you really want to do this. I'm a great catch. Here, let me tell you why.
Yeah. You got to give the man credit. He tried, right? He tried. He
even
pitched a little bit.
He threw in it's strictly business. Like you can date whoever you want. You could do whatever you want.
So it's like when the people come over for like green cards and they get married.
Basically, they just
what
want
do they call that?
benefits.
What's the word for that? When you marry somebody in the States to get what do they call
Married
that?
for a green card, papers.
Something like that. No, there's arranged marriage.
Oh.
No, that's not
No,
it.
Arranged
marriage
is
like,
pre-planned.
I don't think there's no.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a specific. If there is,
Yeah.
I'm not aware of it.
Never mind.
If there is,
Whatever.
I'm not aware of it.
we know what we're talking about. So are you dating right now?
Currently, no. Have I tried to go on dates? Yes.
And no success, huh?
Well, listen to any of your 5,000 people listening out there. It really comes down to be intentional. Like, set the date, set the time. Don't just do that 8 p.m. Hey, are you free? No, I'm not free. Even if I am, no.
You know what?
You fly to Turkey?
we got a lot of
half of our viewers are from Turkey.
I'm going there next week. Drop down all of the things I need to do. Cappadocia, here I come.
I'm gonna push back on what you said, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
So I think I like to plan certain things out, but I'm also what's the word?
Don't say spontaneous.
That's the word I'm thinking. That's the word I'm
What's wrong with
thinking
being
of, but not
spontaneous?
necessarily. I'm pretty sure the way you're thinking. I'm thinking more. I'm the type of guy like sometimes an idea just pops into my fucking head, and I just want to, I'm always gonna be like, if I'm with you, right, and I'm like, well, you know what? I had to record something. It canceled. Hey, you want to go ride scooters?
So that is a brilliant idea. I'm talking about you knew you had all day.
Mm-hmm.
You're just reaching out because you're bored. I probably wasn't even the first call you made or text you made. And it's convenience. See, a lot of things I realized in the aviation industry being gone is people like convenience. They like you closer. They want, what works for them. Fine. People don't like putting in that much effort for somebody. And what I mean too, also, if there's already a connection or I think we did that once upon a time. You hit me up randomly and was like, let's go get ice cream or something like that.
Me? Oh, years ago.
Years ago. And we were just like chilling, having ice cream, like no big deal. But literally it comes
God,
down
I was
to
such
it
a
where
sweetheart back then.
literally
Ice
it,
cream.
What happened?
literally
Ice
it comes
cream.
down to it where it's like, you haven't met me in person yet. You barely try to get to know me and you're hitting me up at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday
Netflix and
because,
chill.
whatever. And it's like, hey, let's hang. No, I'm good. Like I've lied. I will admit, I've told people like, no, this doesn't work for, like, no, this and that. And they'll be like, oh, cause you have a flight, cause you have this, cause you have that. And it's like, no,
I just don't want.
I just don't think that it's appropriate.
I can agree with that.
And my favorite line after that is, oh, no, I'm not like that. Okay. Neither am I. There we go.
I've always found it interesting, especially more now in my life, right? Because I have a lot of things going on besides my normal, day job. A lot of times it's hard for me to plan something, because I have so many things that are, I have to do. Like I have to do this. I have people scheduled for this. I have to make sure I'm here for this. I'm doing a short film. I'm losing my freaking mind doing that or whatever. Finding time to do something with someone, is kind of challenging. But I will say this, if you do want something, you make it happen.
There it is.
Right? And I think
then
that's where you start to learn
there's a way.
Yeah, and this is when you start to realize who's really your friend and who's really not your friend or whatever, or if this person's worth the time.
Who's in it for the convenience? Who's worth the time now?
For the quick satisfaction.
You touched on a very good topic when you said, you're so busy. Are you that busy where, let's say 3 weeks from now, you're completely booked every single day, 3 weeks from now, and there's this one available day? Be intentional. Make a date that day.
Yeah.
And in between those times, actually get to know each other. There's nothing wrong with that.
See, I've always been the type where, like, if I want something, I make it happen. And it's always, obviously you can see it from here because we talked a little bit off topic, right? Like I'm the spender, right? I'm the one. If I want something, I'm going to make that shit happen.
Which is
amazing. Same thing goes with relationships because relationships are the same way. Like, yeah, I'm busy and I know whoever's busy or whatever, like, but if you want something, you're going to make time for it. Yes? John, you look like you want to say something to me. You all right?
No, I don't want to say anything to
you make these faces. I'm gonna totally put it.
I want to talk to her.
Hold on.
I don't want to talk to you.
No, the reason I'm saying this is because you make these weird faces when you see something that's wrong and you just want to like catch my attention and tell me.
Sometimes it's just the glare.
Oh, okay.
flight.
He was coming at my face earlier too.
Go ahead,
though.
talk to her.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah,
You want to talk to her? Go ahead,
Talk
talk
to
to
me.
her.
Let's talk, John. What's up? What's going on?
So, how would it work if you wanted to live with somebody or move in with somebody?
So as I stated, like I have the luxury currently to make my own schedule, pick my days. We have turns where it's all right, New York, Chicago back, I'm home. Like it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. The other night I did in Miami and I was supposed to be home the same night, but cancellations, whatever, I ended up spending the night there. It's doable as long as each person is willing and able and has an clear understanding of everyone's schedule. Like if you have a normal 9 to 5, there's times where I probably won't even be gone that long and I could be home. And in my company, I have the luxury of, it's kind of a hustle. I work as much as I want. There's no cap. As much as I can physically work on an airplane and every day, you know, there are legalities per usual, you know, unionized jobs where I shouldn't be working 6 days straight and they make sure that I do take 24 hours off in between, you know, something like that. But it almost
So you
works.
have like a trucker's kind of deal, right? Where like you could only be in the air X amount of time.
Yeah, we can only, you know, fly legally for a certain amount of time.
And you have to have a certain amount off.
Yeah, and you have to have a certain amount off.
Can you get like a sickness from that? I feel like, I mean, well, I'm assuming you're accustomed to the whole like pressure, depressurizing, all that stuff.
So when I first started, your body takes a beating. It's not used to being pressure that much. Traveling different places, like your allergies. Imagine like being in so many different places. And now your allergies are on full attack. Like everywhere you go. And then sometimes because the airplane is recycled air. So you're literally like in an air conditioned tube all of the time. So yeah, your body takes a beating, but it takes, you know, with the proper amount of time to acclimate, it's doable.
That's a tough gig you got going on.
You might have to get me in there.
It's got its pluses, but
I
hate my job that
much. I hate my job that much.
No, John.
Listen, John, we are hiring, and you just seem to have that award-winning personality that I think you would be. You have a great smile too. I think you would be very welcome in the aviation industry.
It's just too bad I don't smile that often.
Dude, he would quit.
Get paid to do
and
it.
I will not.
Okay, now hear this again. The benefits, like if you get the benefits for it, honey, smile left and right. Sure, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, whatever you need.
It'd be forced. It'd look a little different.
This man's resume is like 20 pages long because he gets second jobs and quits like in 2 weeks. He would literally quit somewhere in Greece. Have to find a way back.
Done. Uber me out of here.
That's not bad though. Because you're testing different things. So that's kind of cool. It's almost like you're kind of finding what works for you and what doesn't. Whereas some people, the initial, like how you're brought up, you have the narrow track mind of like, you just work and you're done.
Well, I mean, that argument kind of falls through because sometimes I don't even give the job a chance. I quit.
Oh, no, he does not. No.
I quit during an orientation one time. So, yeah, I didn't even give it a chance.
Dude,
so then why did you apply?
I don't know.
I've been trying to figure that out for years now. Like he'll literally call me, right? So like there's times he'll call me. And
all hyped too, right?
Yeah, he's all hyped. He's like, man, this is a great job. You should come work us. Because it'd be like our second job. And he's like, oh, you should come work, a couple hours over here or whatever. I'm like, nah, bro. Because I'm good. I just want one job. And no, it's pretty good. And then literally the next time I see him, I'm going to say, hey, how's the job? And I quit.
Have you guys seen that new movie, the new Top Gun movie?
I have not. No. I heard it's really fucking good though.
Oh, well, when you do see it,
I gotta watch the original.
Just remember,
are you in it?
God, I wish. Just remember, I am declaring right now, your call sign is quitter.
Quitter.
So when you watch it, you'll understand.
Okay,
I'll watch it now.
Just remember this.
I gotta watch the original first, and then I'll watch the second one.
You haven't watched the original at all?
I've seen parts of the original.
Didn't
like
it come out
it was
in like the 80s?
Oh yeah, it's old. It's really old. Really old. It's been playing on TV. I don't know how you've been not caught it.
Not only has it been playing on TV, but it's like a classic. It's been out for decades.
Yes.
So is The Godfather. I've never watched that before.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Now I feel like I'm being.
None of them.
You are not being judged.
You
You're
could
not being
skip
judged.
the third
You're not
one
being
and the
judged.
second
No,
one if
you're
you really
good.
want to, but you gotta watch the first one.
No.
Really?
I thought that was like a man's rite of passage.
Really?
Like Scarface.
Maybe in
Godfather.
Marlon Brando?
man.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Sopranos. Like I thought that was like a rite of
my
passage for you guys.
I've never seen an episode of Sopranos.
I haven't either. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you one thing, and I've said this a bunch of times. The movies don't really hit me the same way anymore. It's almost like how you're accustomed to flying. movies, TV shows.
But you've worked behind the scenes.
That's
You
my
have
point.
like a different.
I'm like desensitized to that
Yeah,
shit. So it's
you're like a cop when you know like they're desensitized to so much of life. You're just kind of like,
it's head blown off. Whatever. I see it 3
where
times a week.
somebody else is like freaking out, and you're just like, man.
Right. That's
Typical
so, like,
Monday.
movies for me now kind of don't really. I haven't seen a movie to really grip me in a long time. Like since I started doing the whole acting thing, like I haven't seen a movie grip me like that.
Well, I don't know if this will grip you like that, but let me tell you, I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10 as an aviator. 10 out of 10. What is so funny over there? What's
I read
going
his
on?
mind. Yeah, he's thinking stupid. I'm just gonna sum it up people right there. He's thinking pretty stupid, but I read his mind. Never mind.
He's watched movies where he gripped himself, but
He's
what were you saying?
What happened? Where am I?
Never mind. I was,
Okay, here's the thing.
This is why I didn't want. I just see him laughing over there, and he's just. Stupid.
I will take that. I crack myself. I will take the job.
The people in your head are making fun of you. You're laughing at the people in your head.
That's all it is.
Go ahead, continue. What are you saying?
Can you take naps on the flight?
Yes, it depends. Legally, how long? When I personally love a Tel Aviv layover. It is a tough flight to work, but a Tel Aviv layover, you're on for 12 hours. There are crew rest areas where we can like lay down and nap for several hours at a time.
Is that like when you travel like overseas or something? Also, okay, so it's like those Airbuses things and all
Nice.
those.
I mean, you won't catch me napping on like a Miami flight, like Chicago to Miami. There's nothing like that.
Chicago to Indianapolis, I'll take a nap.
As a passenger, when I get on a flight, I'm out. I'm passed out. Like the way turbulence hits people and they're scared, I'm like rocked to sleep.
Oh, you're accustomed.
Yeah, you always get accustomed to that.
What do you do during flights? I like to look outside the window.
I love a window seat.
What do I like? I don't know. I mean, I try to sleep, honestly. But I mean, I haven't been on a plane in a long time, but like I try to sleep if I can. I mean, I don't mind. I like looking out the window, but I mean, you're just looking at clouds half the time. When we get closer to things,
God's creation.
I mean, sure.
No, when you don't believe in God.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm an atheist. What am I gonna do? Pick up your jaw.
Is this a
Pick up your jaw.
revelation? Yeah.
It's been X amount of years. So this is a revelation for me.
Yeah, Faith and I have
parted ways.
What's the term? We divorced each other. Reconcile. What is it? Unreconcilable. What is it?
Unreconcilable.
There we go. That's the word I'm looking. Irreconcilable differences. That's what it is. That's my that was my divorce papers for.
You can't fix
religion.
it.
No comment. No comment.
It's okay. No, you can comment. You feel free.
I feel like politics, religion. I have my beliefs. You have your beliefs.
That's the beauty.
I mean, I said it as soon as you came in. You were like, "How are you?" I'm like, "Blessed and highly favored."
No,
so.
you know what? I never. John made this because I poke fun at it sometimes, but I don't have a really bad. I don't have anything against people who believe in what they believe. That's up to them. I mean, it's just like I have a lack of belief, quote unquote. My thing with people is like sometimes like they make that face you made, and I'm like, see, but would it be odd? Would it be odd if you told me you were?
It's not the face. I apologize to interrupt. It's not the face of like, how could you not? Obviously, there's a God. It's more the face of just like I didn't know that of you.
Oh, but I've been kind of out of religion for a long time. When I was 18, when we were working together. Yeah, I was still
probably going to church.
Like
no, I wasn't going to church. Probably, I was probably in and out, but I still kind of believed in something.
Well, that's what I meant. It wasn't the face because of judgment. Currently, it was more the face of like. More the face of like current day, like I didn't know that. I pray for everyone, everyone in my life.
I'm kidding.
He needs double.
Girl, boy. Sorry, girl and boy. Let's see here. What is happiness to you? One of your
oh man, simple pleasures. One of my simple pleasures of the day I'll give you was literally like
Starburst, Jolly Rancher. Those could be simple.
Those
simple
could be.
pleasures.
They're not mine. Candy isn't my jam currently, but listening to Mark Anthony, cruising in the car with my sister. Just
Anthony's the man. He's the man.
Being home.
All right, shut up.
being home, flying in, being home, having the availability to, hang out with my sister and then go pick up my niece and nephew and then have dinner with my brother. And it to me, like, that's a simple pleasure. That's a happy time for me.
That's pretty cool. That's cool. What's a simple pleasure for you, John? Jim?
What's up? What's up for me?
What's a very simple pleasure for you?
Enunciate, my good sir.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm a homebody. I like to be home too. So I don't think it'll work out.
Okay, so what's a simple pleasure in your home? Like when I'm home, I love the simple pleasure of waking up to the sun, feeling relaxed, the dishes being clean.
What the fuck is that? That's what he's trying to say.
Waking up to the sun. I don't know.
No, the light doesn't get you. It doesn't bring a tear to your eye.
I'm at work by the time the sun decides to peek out, so I rarely see.
I think with him it's like, and kind of similar to me. I think you're more in touch to like this nature-esque kind of energy per se.
For sure, 100%.
So like you not that I don't appreciate the sun and whatever, right? But let me tell you, when I'm driving to work and the sun's coming up, I'm like, why are you like? Can you just stay down so I can go back to sleep? But I get what you're saying.
Is that the sun's fault or your fault headed into work?
I like to blame the sun.
Like whose choice is that really? Is that the sun's choice for rising, or is that your choice for getting up that early to go to work?
Yeah, that's true.
Perception.
What's a simple joy for me? A simple joy for me is riding my goddamn scooter.
You said that it made you feel like a child, so there you go.
But I have a lot of them. I mean, or a few of them. Like, I love doing this. This is my thing. This is my.
You guys seem very comfortable doing this. This seems like a simple joy, and it's in your home, so there you go.
I tolerate it.
Well, he's gotten a hell of a lot better at this than he was when we first started. And me too. I've gotten better too. But like, I've always been. He was always. I'm a talker, so.
You a talker?
Oh yeah, you know.
Oh no, I would have never guessed.
You know, I was that Puerto Rican in mobile.
I mean, he ever tried to spit that game?
Oh, it was spat.
At Best Buy?
It was spat. Let me tell you, it was spat. Okay? Damn. God, I miss those days. I still had hair.
Game was spat. You did.
She's like, only agree you did.
I cut myself off. I don't believe you did.
No, I did. Hell yeah, I did. I had curls. I had curls at one point.
Did you?
Yeah, girl. Well, I just shaved my head until I was like 20.
Wait, are we talking about the hair or the game spitting? What are we talking about?
Hair.
Oh,
the hair.
You had waves.
Yeah, I had waves and I had curls at one point.
What is that called? The Mandela effect, where you just assume, like, you feel like, I felt like you've been that way the entire time.
Were you there? Do you remember they used to have like, sometimes they would have like special people go to the store and like sign autographs? You remember any of those at our store?
Negative.
So a long time ago they had, and the only reason I remember this was because I had curls and I cut my hair that day.
Roy Jones?
No. Roy Jones was there once before too, but it was the girls from the WWE. It was Trish Stratus and Tori Wilson or whatever. Ooh. So they were like, WrestleMania was in Chicago that year, so they were signing autographs. And I remember we got to take pictures with them. And then right after that, I cut off my curls. That's why I remember that day. I have a very pixelated picture because I took it with my phone at the time. So
took it with your sidekick.
That was the highest tech phone like at the time.
0.5 megapixels compared to now. But
he worked at Best Buy. He was a big baller over there.
Oh hell yeah!
It was the newest phone, the latest phone.
You damn right. I had
fucking $11 an hour.
I loved. Oh my god! You know what's fucked up? What? You know what I thought about recently? I'm sorry if my language is a little bit too.
You're not.
I'm an adult,
it's
right?
It's not anything I haven't heard before.
My mom works at Walmart at my old store, right? When I used to work over there. And they're going to get a raise again, right? So they're going to be like at $15 or whatever it is now, whatever. And I'm like, damn, when I worked there, she's making more than I was as a regular associate than I was as a fucking manager. Like, that's insane. I feel like every company should give us retro pay for the freaking difference because what the hell?
Work that day.
I know it's not going to work that way, but it should.
How far back are you going to go? Care. To the 1800s where they made 12 cents an hour?
I think
that was too much.
I don't care. I think it's so
you made 12 cents. You were balling.
I think it's so unfair that like we we did the same job. We do the exact same job, and then they're making more now than we were back then.
You should be happy for her though.
I don't know. I am.
In that predicament.
Just the way you said that shows that you are.
It sounds like you hold. Are you a grudge holder?
Am.
No, I'm not.
I'm
against the government. Yes, against the government. Absolutely.
So you're a grudge holder, only against the government.
You remember that guy?
You did have hair.
I did.
Wow. Oh my god.
That's a. Look at the size of that shirt.
Yeah, that was. That was.
I remember. There's another picture. There's only a few pictures.
The big shirts were.
Yeah.
Oh look, you know what's funny about this picture, John?
What?
Chris Webber's scratched out in the background. Do you see that?
That
was the greatest poster ever. I scratched his ass out. That's his favorite player. I only have a few pictures of like Best Buy days. I think I have like 3 where I have like a Best Buy shirt on. I have that one, and then I used to wear my collar up for some fucking reason. I don't know why.
But that was circa 20, God knows what. Like that was the thing.
What? I feel like that was the
now that you mention it, I don't have any photos from then. And to be quite honest, until you mentioned it earlier, I completely forgot that that's somewhere that I worked.
Oh, I don't forget my places.
I like how she thinks you've always been bald, like since you were like fucking
birth.
You know what the problem is that since I'm so much taller, all they saw was my big ass forehead. So they thought they never saw
never saw over it.
See that? You know what? Get out.
Yeah, I'm just agreeing with you. Don't say it if you don't want me to agree with you.
I'm kidding. What were we talking about? Happiness.
What was happy? What makes you happy? What current day happiness? Like, do you guys drink coffee?
Oh, no. That morning cup of coffee is my happiness.
Well, there you go. See,
that's what makes you happy in the morning. Coffee.
I'm old. Yes.
Caffeine is a powerful drug.
Yeah. You know it is a drug, right?
Yes, of course I do. Of course I know it. Caffeine is a drug.
It's a drug.
Yeah. This is why I don't like. It's funny. I had a coworker because I drink. I'll buy like an energy drink in the morning, right? Because I don't like coffee. What kind of
energy drink?
C4.
Fucking child.
Is it good?
Yeah, that one's actually really good.
I'm currently addicted to Celsius.
Celsius?
It's like an energy drink, seltzer water.
I never even heard of that.
Celsius.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. So like C4 is pretty cool. No, I don't want to say it's pretty cool. It's probably bad for you, anyways. But it has like 0 sugar, 0 calories.
It's awful for you.
And it tastes amazing. So they have like a
0 sugar,
0 calories.
What's the sodium intake like?
I don't know, but it's probably bad for you.
Questionable. For sure.
They have these 2 flavors that are freaking amazing. Like one of them's like cherry Starburst flavored, and it really fucking tastes like a Starburst. You really like
candy?
No, I don't like candy. I don't like candy.
You're talking about Jolly Ranchers and Starburst.
I don't eat candy though.
Full of shit. This guy, his vape thing is like candy.
Yeah. What do you want it to be? Steak? There's no such thing. Do you want to be roasted chicken?
Wait, if they can make candy, why can't they make steak?
But there's some flavors that they can't make, like cherries.
They can't make like a turkey dinner. Why not?
Because it's not Hungry Man brand.
Wait, you said that there's some flavors that they can't make?
Well, they have a hard time making. So like cherry is one of those weird ones. So like cherry.
They make like flavored like corn nuts, flavored chips. There's like barbecue flavors.
We're talking about
they put that in a vape
because it has to be simulated.
If they had a Hungry Man dinner vape, would you even buy it? Right? Like, would you even want that?
No, but he's trying to implement that because what's available is fruity flavored stuff.
Well, because they like to adhere to children most of the time.
Yes and no. That's debatable.
And he's a child.
No, I didn't want to smoke cigarettes anymore.
Oh, you got into cigarettes.
Oh yeah. No, I was never a heavy smoker. Would you say I was a heavy smoker?
You changed cigarettes for vaping.
Yes.
You think vaping was the better choice instead of just quitting?
No, I don't think it's the better choice. I think it's the less smelly choice.
That is true. That cigarettes do come with like a stale stench.
I do, and I'm cool with admitting this. Like I enjoy smoking. So like
what do you enjoy most of it?
It's a mind fuck if you want to go that route. So it's like almost like drinking coffee. So like coffee, when you drink coffee, you sit down and you drink your coffee and you're like, coffee. Yes, most people do that, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. Yes.
So to me, smoking kind of has that effect. Where like, if you go on a break.
How many cigarettes were you smoking a day?
I was never heavy though.
Like a half pack, quarter pack?
Not even, like a quarter of a pack a day.
I had an older gentleman on my flight recently and he had his pack of Marlboro Lights. And
that's gross. Marlboros are disgusting.
Like open, it had no top. And at one point, he like grabs the cigarette and I'm looking at him like, bro, you are not about to light this in this aircraft. Do not make me, like I'm looking at him. He looks at me. He's like, I'm not gonna light it. I just want to smell it, and literally puts it under his nose and takes
That's
a big
super addictive.
whiff.
That's
He
super
took a
addictive.
big whiff. He's like, can't wait till we land. It's just like, okay, and you could tell he's lived. He's lived a life.
I was
you know?
never that bad. I was never that bad. Like a pack of cigarettes would last me
What
a
got
week.
you started into it?
I think everybody was doing it. To be honest, everybody in like high school people would smoke, and when I got out of high school,
You
people
didn't
would smoke.
smoke in high school, or
I
at
didn't
least
smoke cigarettes. I started smoking cigarettes when I was at Best Buy. I didn't smoke a lot, but I
I
started smoking
have to be
cigarettes.
honest. I don't recall that.
I would go outside with like George and those guys.
The fact that you remember names is
Well, I still talk to
astonishing.
George.
Oh, okay,
I
it's
still talk to him.
astonishing. I'm like, holy crap!
That's probably the only one I know.
I didn't even
And
remember
you.
I worked there right now, and like now you're throwing names at me.
So you want me not to remember you? That's how I met you.
No, I know, but it's just it's.
Palamienda. I'm kidding.
Damn.
I'm kidding. No, cigarettes. I think it's the idea of like if I had to tie it to something, it would be like coffee, in my opinion, because like people have this need for caffeine, right? Nicotine is the same kind of drug. That's all it is. It's the same thing. But I went to vaping because I hated the smell. Not hated the smell. I don't mind the smell, but I know it bothers a lot of people and whatever. So I was like, hey, let it go. And vaping doesn't smell. What do you mean? What are you making that face
It smells
for?
a lot. It smells better, but it smells a lot.
Yeah, but it doesn't stink, and it doesn't reside in the house as much as you if I smoked a cigarette here, it's gonna smell like cigarettes for like a month.
Did you when you quit smoking? Were you still in the same residence?
Well, I never smoked indoors at all.
Have you ever seen like a smoker's walls?
Oh, it's like full of like tar and shit.
A
So
friend
imagine
of
all that shit in
mine-
your lungs.
A friend of mine just bought a house, and she's like Swiffering the walls, and you know, at first I thought it was just to like kind of clean and cleanse the house, and when I saw the pad, it was like this orange gook.
Yeah.
You know what it looks like? It looks like when you smoke a cigarette, like the filter on the edge, it turns like that orangey yellow. That's what it is.
She
Yeah.
literally was like, "This is the 4th time I've done this today," and it's like, just tear it down, get a new, like, build new walls, forget it at this point. And every time she cleans, it gets lighter and lighter, but like it's still stuck in there.
Embedded.
I think Union Square, the train station, they left one of the bricks in the ceiling as the original brick, and it's like this dark colored, and it's because of all the smoke that had ruined the building before they revamped it.
Sweet Maria.
I'm glad I work in aviation now without smoking, because I couldn't imagine being trapped in that fuselage with smokers everywhere.
It's funny that kids don't remember that too. Well, they never experienced
What?
like
Kids
a
don't.
restaurant where there was
Smoking,
smoking,
non-smoking.
Kids
non-smoking.
don't remember AOL startup noises. Like, of course they don't remember anything else.
Kids are stupid. They don't know anything.
Kids are precious. They are
They-
so precious and innocent.
They swear they got that their life is hard. Shit, I remember having to get up to change the channel. All you got to do is pick up a remote. Fuck you. The hell do you know about struggles? Oh, you got streaming. I had to get up and change the
You
DVD.
really hold on to grudges.
No,
Like,
is that
you
these
are a
kids? No, these
grudge.
kids don't
so
know.
your call sign is going to be the grudge.
These kids
Yeah.
don't know what it was like. Okay, they don't know what it's like to freaking go to a library and actually work on a freaking paper. They don't know what it's like to walk places instead of taking a scooter
do
or
you
an
feel
Uber
like
or
it's
whatever.
affected them?
Yes, horribly, and sometimes. I mean, I think they're brighter. They're a little bit more brighter in the sense of certain topics, but they lack in others.
And they're easily frustrated when things don't go their way.
I think that was something tied to the stressors caused by constantly looking at screens as a child. Like, there's 2 to 3 year olds who can navigate YouTube better than most adults at this point. And a lot of it is like when you I've seen it on the aircraft, when you take these screens away from them, it's like full on meltdown.
Yeah.
I think it has to do a little with the fact that the information is always there. So if you take away the information from them, they don't know how to do anything else. You know, they might eventually figure it out, but like I've said this on this podcast plenty of times, our age group is the last of our breed, because we are the last ones to really know let's just
experience it all.
let's just say pre-iPhone and
really
then past
got to
iPhone.
experience it all.
You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I tell these
I
kids,
still haven't experienced an iPhone.
you got the same
You haven't made
thing.
over the switch
You
to
got
the
the
blue?
same-
You don't want your
No.
text messages in blue?
No, fuck that.
First of all, I'm neither.
And I get
an
made
iPhone
fun of
fan
a
either,
lot.
even though I have one.
I secretly miss the BlackBerry.
Ooh, those were cool.
They were so cool.
They were cool because they were like that business kind of savvy.
I
They had that
miss the
swag to them.
I really miss the BlackBerry.
You never had a BlackBerry, John?
No.
I had a BlackBerry Pearl.
Ditto. I had
Did
the
you?
curve, the
Had a curve?
curl,
My
and
sister
the
had a
curl.
curve.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool.
Then I
phones.
lost them in the water when I was
They weren't IPS
working out
yet.
there.
Oh, you used to work at the beach, right?
Yeah, I used to
You're a
work
lifeguard.
on those.
You were Baywatch.
I was not blonde and big boob like Pamela Anderson, but yeah, I did the Chicago local Baywatch thing. I sure did.
Did you run with the little orange thingy and the whole night?
Slow motion. Yes, I did. I did it for the viewing pleasure of my patrons. I sure did. Yes, I did, with the hair flipping in the background. Sure,
See,
why not?
I would have done that. I would have got out of the water all slow and just.
I would have done that. Wait, what?
I honestly, it
When
was
you know you go in the water and then
Yeah.
when you come, well, I wouldn't know because my hair doesn't really, whatever. But like if I had hair, I would totally like get under the
You
water.
got beard hair. You got beard hair. You can make it happen. You can make it happen.
Anyways,
How would that work with beard hair?
well,
Yeah,
look,
it's
you
Just
know
a
what?
light
Hey,
shade,
hold on,
kind
wait
of
a
like a
minute.
light shade, like ever so slowly.
Stop making fun of
Yeah,
my
it
lack of
doesn't
hair.
work.
No one's making.
Man.
No one's making fun
I
of
am.
it.
I'm making fun of it. I remember the only time I actually felt my hair move around when I was a kid. When I had my curls in high school, we were playing softball, 16-inch, right?
Yeah.
So we're playing this game, and this massive like monsoon of rain comes out, right? And it's just raining. They don't call the game, so we're running in and out of the dugout, whatever. And literally every time I was running, I could feel my hair doing this shit. I think I remember that so well. Like it's the only time I've ever felt that, right? Obviously,
Jesus.
I don't think I'm ever gonna feel it ever again.
I think we could slap a wig on you, and
I am an actor, right? They could put that stuff on my head, right?
you ever thought
CGI,
about
CGI.
you ever thought about just wearing a wig here or there, just for the fun of it?
I don't know.
I'm used to. I like being bald.
Yeah.
I like being bald. I get ready in 10 minutes.
It's crazy. I love having all this hair.
Really?
This is the longest and
How do you feel about
healthiest.
bald men?
To be honest,
'Cause we were talking about hair in general, about what women like and don't like.
to be honest, I don't have anything against it. I don't think a bald man has ever been interested in me though.
I think
I
it's.
haven't had the pleasure of experiencing it, but I have had the pleasure of a fade, which was practically bald.
Yeah, I mean, but
Okay, right now, what's your typical like ideal man right now?
Ideal right
What
now.
are you looking for
What
right
am I
now?
looking for? Like physically or
The whole shebang.
The picture-
whole
Physically,
shebang?
the
physically.
picture to
then-
your left over there.
Oh yeah, you'd be lucky if you landed him.
wow? Yeah, sure.
He's not an attractive man. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you.
I don't.
He's got a
I
nice
don't find
bod,
him
but-
attractive at all. To me, I think the biggest thing I'm looking for is someone who's comprehensive, communicative, willing to be understanding, or like willing to work through something when it comes to like someone who's done the work, who's healed already, who's gone through their trauma responses, who's someone's son. I don't have to teach how to be like an adult. That would be amazing.
It's
But on top of that,
What is your definition of an adult?
Someone who can own up to their own indiscretions, someone who can be
not
recognizing of their faults, or
you. Not you. Keep on going.
someone who is comfortable in their own skin, comfortable with themselves, and doesn't project insecurities onto me. That would be nice.
I'll let that one slide.
I was waiting for the not you. Wow.
If you would have said something, I swear I would have threw something over the table.
Physically, somebody,
not you.
Whatever.
physically, somebody. I love the gym. I am a gymaholic, a workoutaholic.
Definitely not me.
Someone who self-cares themselves. I'm not saying they have to look like this guy. I mean it more like just someone who's confident enough with themselves and how they are, and isn't like, oh, I hate myself and the way I look, but then doesn't do anything about it.
Oh,
Fair.
those are the
You know what I mean?
worst.
Sure.
Like somebody who I can go hiking with, I can go swimming with, like I can enjoy life with. That'd be great. But not somebody who, wants to counterintuitive, say one thing, doesn't act on it.
Yeah.
Someone in intent.
That's fair.
What about married?
Married.
Married. Okay, amazing. What made you choose your beautiful bride?
I'm not. No comment. I'm kidding. That's his choice. That's him. I have nothing to do with that.
Is it because he's married?
No. Because we were boys, so we talk, or we make fun of everything. So, but I'll let him talk.
What made?
Why did you get married?
Yeah, like
Or
what
why
made
did-
you want to propose to, this
Your wife.
person and decide to spend the rest of your life with them?
the only one who paid attention to him.
Oh my God, he went there.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
yeah. Let's go with that.
He can't even deny it.
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
Feels like it was so long ago that
I'm kidding.
I can't even.
That's right. That's
long have
bad
you
to
been
say
married
though,
for?
John.
How long?
Like 10 years?
Do you still date each other?
There's no time for dates. You got kids.
I don't like that excuse, John.
I don't
like
that
that
excuse.
either.
No,
It's
John.
true.
I don't. Again, this comes down to if you want to do something, you make it happen. I'm not saying that's the case for you in particular. I'm
I
just
get
saying,
it. But once you get to, we got to find a babysitter. We got to do this. We got to do that.
And I do recognize
it's
that
hard.
that's a lot. That's a lot, especially trusting.
It's-
I mean, they're your babies. You don't want to
Yeah.
just leave them to anybody.
I mean, it's doable, but it's just like sometimes it's like,
You're tired.
do we really want to go through all this?
Yeah. Date each other.
yeah.
I mean, I'm single and I've never been married, so I'm obviously not the beacon of light to like give guidance.
No.
I just, when I speak to married friends, one on the female aspect, one of the things is like, oh, I kind of wish we dated each other, because like during that dating phase, there's like flirt. You know, do you guys still flirt? Do you guys still?
See, John. Oh man. See,
You know, every time
It's
she
fair.
passes
I love
you,
it.
every time she passes you in the hall, do you grab her and kiss her and just feel like the luckiest man around? Am I hopeless romantic?
No,
Is that what
it's,
I'm
that's
No,
Sorry,
hold on.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Hopeless
100.
romantic?
I'm 100% in your boat, because I've always felt like that. Like, I don't want to. Why am I going to get married to be miserable? If I'm going to get married to someone, that's got to be like my
I didn't
best friend.
say I'm miserable.
No, I'm not. I don't mean it for you in your
I
case.
don't-
I'm using my what I think of. You know what I want. Dude, whoever I marry, when I'm like 60 years old and my wife walks across in front of the TV, I'm still gonna smack that ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Yeah,
what I want.
I doubt you are.
No, me?
I mean, that's what everybody wants. That
You
is
think
what
I'm not
everybody.
gonna do
I think that's
Of
what
all
everybody wants. But from now until 60, so much of life happens.
No, of course. I'm using that as an extreme example, but like I've
So, funny story. Sorry to interrupt you. They were in their late 50s. They were on the plane together. They were going to like see their kids. He's coming out of the bathroom. I'm standing there. I was just talking to
Mile
his
High Club.
wife. He's coming out of the bathroom. She's about to go in, and or vice versa. She came out. He was about to go in, and you could just tell that they had so much love for each other still that he tried to pull her in there. And you could tell he was joking.
Yeah.
But her reaction was like, "What are you? Oh my God, what?" And he was like, "Come on."
Yeah.
And
See,
I
that's some shit I would do.
I'm standing right there. Clearly everyone can see me, and I start laughing. And he looks over at me, and he's like, "Just turn away. Just turn away. Don't worry." He's like, "This is how you keep it alive." And I'm like, "Oh." But literally, when she got out and she's laughing, he closes the door, and I was like, "You guys seem adorable. How long have you been together?" And she said like 30 something years. And truly, it was like, she's like, "He's like that all the time. He makes me feel young." And I loved that. Again, maybe I'm a hopeless romantic, but I love that like they still had that.
Has anybody seen that commercial with that? So it's like an old couple and they're like going all over the place. Like it's a bunch of pictures of their lives together, and it's like to the song of Bonnie and Clyde from Jay-Z and Beyonce. It's like the coolest thing ever.
You're gonna have to pull it
I'm
up.
gonna show. Yeah, I'm gonna show
You're
it to you
gonna have to pull
when
it
we're done. But John, honestly, me of all people, who you say doesn't grow up, right? You think I'm gonna stop being the freaking character I am with whoever I'm with?
John,
Listen.
I've been with you. I've been with you all my life. And I
Everybody's
haven't
goal
changed.
is to like
if
before
you're
you.
our age, it's perception. I feel like I'm still young and vivacious. I hope that in my 50 to 60s, I'm still young and vivacious. Like,
I feel like I'm still young.
And vivacious.
Vivacious?
But I don't know about vivacious, but I feel like I'm still young.
I think I'm fucking vivacious. What are you talking about? I got
you
mad
radiate
vibes. I got
vibes.
mad
You
vibes, bro.
radiate
Don't play
that.
with me.
All right. I just think like before you get married, you get married and you're like
Honeymoon
making
stage.
love every day, and then it turns into
So it almost benefits
yeah.
to be in aviation, so you're not home every day, so people miss you a little more.
what's that thing? Absence makes the
Heart
heart
grow fonder.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Sure.
I don't know.
I hear that a lot. Like, just you're with each other every day, and I know during the pandemic, a lot of couples went through their trials and tribulations. So
Oh,
congratulations,
just straight up divorces. Yeah.
Congratulations
I
to
just-
surviving.
goddamn.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we survived. A lot of people didn't.
I do understand.
Well, we both kept our jobs, so I mean that might have been part of it.
You were busy. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you can always make time, man. When you want to do something, you make time.
I have
Take
to.
each other to dinner.
Yeah.
Look under the stars. Go down by the lake with, make a picnic.
John's not that type of guy. I think you're pushing your luck there. He's a homebody. He wants to sit and put on the TV and watch anime.
When she comes in for work, have the rose petals on the floor or clean the house. I don't know, something that makes your wife happy. Something that makes your wife happy. Like, date each other.
Oh, then she's going to be happy for a second until I say, oh, you got to clean that up now. It's not going to be too happy.
Wow. He said you gotta clean up.
I don't even got a button for that. I don't.
We gotta make up a noise.
I don't have a button for it.
Right, hurry up and sweep this up, and then maybe I'll give you some.
Wow.
No, I wouldn't say that. Come on, I'm not.
Wow.
I don't know. You were so confident with your reaction. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. Questionable.
Wow. John, we're so different when it comes to.
I'd wait until after, and then I'd tell her to sweep it up.
But I think that's beautiful that you've decided to, love someone for this long. So that's amazing. And then not only did you decide to love them, but you guys created your own little community together, and you have your little people. And
straight up.
No, that's pretty. That's admirable. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, kids are the best.
They really are.
I will say that. You gotta have one. It's fun.
Oh, do you not want kids?
Like a mini
I want kids.
I know you want it.
I want kids. I'm not referring to you. I'm not referring.
Feels like you are.
Feels like it's in his direction.
Hold on. No, not in his direction. It's in general.
I feel like
in
you
general.
just
No,
saying
it's in
that
general. It's in
directed
general
towards
only
me.
because in our upbringing, it was like this pressure. Like first of all, you couldn't have sex until you were married, whatever. And obviously, having sex to have kids would have to be after you're married. So like this whole pressure of, get married, blah blah blah. I've always been.
Do you want to get married?
Do I want to get married? I can care less if I do or don't.
I don't think a life partner. And again,
you could have a life partner without marriage.
I'm surrounded by beautiful marriages. My brother-in-law is fantastic and amazing. My sister, they have a great marriage, but I don't think marriage necessarily means like that's your life partner. So I get it, but for me personally, I would want a life partner because I'm also around a lot of divorces, and it's sad.
Here's my view on marriage. So again, I was brought up a certain way, and I hated that for it. But I look at marriage as it depends on who I'm with and what they want in life. Okay. So for me personally, if I'm let's just say I'm with you, right? Cool. We're together and we live together. We've had 10 years like this, and we have kids, we have our family, whatever. That to me is the definition of marriage, but without the paper.
Isn't Illinois common law marriage that if you live together after 7 years, you're common law married?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
So I know some people who are in that situation who had their kids, lived together, built their life together, got married without telling anybody, just went to the courthouse and did it just for like beneficial reasons, in case of reasons, like this is my next of kin. Because one thing for me, for sure, especially with my line of work, God forbid something happens to me. Mm-hmm. My next of kin, I don't have children, would be, my siblings and things like that. Like, I would want the person that I'm spending my life with to make those decisions, because I would hope that we've talked about like what I want. And, living will and testament, highly recommend. That way there's no room for error. This is exactly what I want. This is how I want it done. But I think it'd be sad for like serious couple dating for a long enough time. God forbid something happens and like they don't have a say. Like, cause you go to hospitals and it's like family only, and it's like, I'm the girlfriend. You're not blood related.
I see that point. What I mean is more like, I don't think marriage is a necessity. Mm-hmm. Right? I think you can have equally a happy relationship and family without the concept of marriage. This is me. Like, now, if the person I'm with wants to get married, this is something that she wants, then I'm for it.
Right.
But the pressure to get married is not going to come from me at all, because I had my entire life with this pressure of fucking getting married. I don't want to pressure anybody to that. John, don't look at me like that. You know what I'm talking about.
Like how you unsquinted your face.
I think the pressure was more on the women. Like, if you weren't married by like 22, they're like,
you're an old hag. Yeah. Listen, I am happily not married. I'm actually in the biggest love relationship I've ever had with myself. Someone asked me that the other day, and they're like, what's your love life like? I was like, it's fabulous. I'm deeply in love. And they're like, oh yeah, who's the lucky guy? I was like, me.
I was never mind. I was gonna say something.
Me,
Stupid.
myself,
know you were.
and
I was gonna say something stupid.
What were you gonna say?
You know what
You said you were in love. I was gonna say you're in love with AA batteries. I'm kidding. I was kidding. It was in my head. I'm sorry. I'm a guy. Come on. I'm a guy.
It's not AA batteries. That's way too small.
Rechargeable.
Get it together.
It's rechargeable.
Get it together.
It's got the
Double
Get
D.
it together.
Double
It's
D,
rechargeable. It's USB charging. All right, waterproof.
It's
all the whole nine.
self-cleaning.
All the whole nine. Accepted in all countries. Chill.
It's like a Mercedes Benz. It's fully loaded type shit. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
No, I take no offense to it. It's just
All in good fun.
but I think there's that misconception, especially someone my age, where it comes into as if you don't have a partner, you're not doing it right. And man, that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, for you have a partner and you guys are making work, which is great. It's beautiful. But societal means it's like, oh, you're by yourself at this age. Like, what's wrong with you? Everything.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah.
I had a gentleman tell me the other day, because I didn't want to dance on top of him. He called me toxic.
You mean dance on top of him?
So we're at the
That reggaeton went on, bro. What are you talking about, man?
We're at a lounge. Bad Bunny comes on.
Oh,
Bad Bunny.
He notices me. He starts conversing with me. I'm not an a-hole. Like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, shoo fly, get away from me. No, I'm conversing back. I'm being nice. The song comes on. Shoulders start moving, but I wasn't like, hey, come over here. No, he tried to grab my arm and have me dance on top of him. Gently pulled away. I was like, I'm good. And he's like, oh, you're one of those kind of girls. And I was like, triggered.
Yeah,
What do you mean? What do you mean? And he's like, yeah, one of those toxic girls who, teases and this, that. And I'm like, no, I'm one of those girls who sets boundaries and values myself and don't just dance up on random homies.
I mean,
so
there it is.
Those days are see, but we grow out of those days.
a
We all had our
lot of
fun.
us did. Yeah,
We all had our fun.
But a
John,
lot
did
of
you have
us
your
are
fun?
still in that.
Sure, playing Halo at your house. Didn't go out clubbing much.
I did. I went out clubbing a lot. Those were good times. But see, and then the funny thing is, it's like, if I was to get married, I'm ready for that.
Yeah,
Or have kids. I'm ready for that because my life is not like, I still see people my age that go clubbing all the time. And I'm like, oh, you guys do this shit. That's tiring.
It
Like
is.
they put one song
It
of
is
merengue and I'm already.
exhausting. It's exhausting for sure.
Yeah, it's too
cigarettes,
much.
vaping.
Yeah, no, it's just merengue's too much. Merengue's too much movement,
And a
bro.
side effect from vaping is
Yeah.
not
And I
being
got a
able to
bad
dance
knee.
merengue.
And I got a
Do you
bad
dance
knee.
salsa?
Yeah.
You do dance.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's how I used to get my chicks when I was back in the day. That bachata was the
Bachata?
secret weapon.
Bashada or
Yeah.
Bachata.
or Shada?
That was the secret weapon. John, I'm dead serious. That
I
in
think-
the
I know,
early
it's-
2000s,
I
that
know,
was the
I
way to
know.
get the girls, man. If you know how to dance bachata, you in there.
True. That's a big
Just-
fact.
just saying.
So, I mean, even admitting that like you would be ready for kids and marriage is a big thing for somebody looking for that. That's awesome. That's amazing. Like, I feel like a big part of it is people are so scared. They're so in tuned with their routines in their life that they're scared to even make those kind of commitments with people.
I think the
Yeah.
only thing with women is
Tell me what the thing with women
no.
is.
And I'm gonna tell you the difference between obviously the difference between men and women. I mean, technically, men can have kids.
Whenever you
whenever
could be
they want.
70 something
That's
and
my
get
point.
somebody
Now, mind
pregnant.
you, me personally, if I reach 40 and I don't have kids yet, I'm snipping. I'm done. I don't want to have kids past 40.
You're
Really?
dumb.
I don't because I don't want to.
What if you
No, no,
meet
no, no, no.
someone who just makes you want to procreate so bad?
Because
at 42.
I'm gonna tell you what though.
Then
Hey,
what?
If she loves me, she would understand why I don't. I don't want to have
Simple.
kids at that age because one, I don't think I'm gonna reach that. I'm not gonna be alive that long after that. But still,
Wow.
physically,
40's not old.
no.
No.
I'm saying like after 40, I'm probably gonna live till like I'm close to 70 and I'm done. But whatever. But like physically, I feel like I'm 100
Do you
years
have
already.
like inside information on
No.
this?
It's just I have a lot of wear and
Yeah.
tear, right? I played a lot of sports, whatever. I had a lot of injuries in my life, whatever. One of my
You
goals
vape.
when I was,
You vape.
God, we're gonna have to drop
Babe.
that. One of the things I wanted when I was young was I wanted to have my kids young, and that didn't happen for me, right? Because my idea
But
was
what made you want your kids young?
because I wanted to be able to play sports, but like you know how much I love some of my friends that I went to high school with that their kids are graduating high school right now. I'm like, man, you guys still were able to play everything with them. You were able to run with them, whatever. I mean, my
Yeah,
knees
but
been
don't-
opened up already. My back is starting to hurt already because obviously I played a lot of sports in my life, so I'm like I have a lot of wear and tear. By the time I'm 60, I don't want to. I mean, I guess they can join the wheelchair basketball league with me, I guess. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be like Professor Xavier on a little yellow hover chair. You know what I'm saying?
My grandfather is 89 and he's not in a wheelchair. And granted, he's not running around the block with me, but I mean, he practically raised me and he was still throwing the ball around and like still having a good time.
I still wanted to be able to compete against my kids.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem.
I'm a competitor. No,
lead with that. That's the problem.
Here's the thing. I've always wanted to raise my kid, like in sports, when it comes to sports, like sports that I played. Like, I wanted them to excel, right?
You can do that without competing with them. In fact, because of the knowledge you have and at the age that you'll be when you do have your children, you can help get them to the point that maybe you wanted once upon a time or even greater, and watch them thrive and just be beasts at anything that they decide to be at. Or don't put yourself in the mix and be like, if I can't compete with them, I don't want kids. Bro, like, that's selfish.
Or watch them hate you because you're pushing it on them.
Ooh, that part.
For once.
Could go either way.
For once on this podcast.
Let's find out.
I have no comeback.
Perception.
Mark this day down.
Mark this day down. You guys should brand it into your table over here.
Oh, we have that.
Oh.
You could write that when you sign our little plaque outside. Are you having fun?
I am, actually. This was. I
feel like you could probably do this if you wanted to.
Podcast?
You have a very
the
she sounds like a late night radio
host.
Listen
to this.
You guys are telling me I can make. Let me go hit up Manscaped and see if they'll
okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front. I used to watch softcore stuff. You know what I'm saying?
The scrambled stuff on HBO.
Yeah,
the scrambled stuff.
Part of it was they had like a female on a I forget what show.
So
how do we get? How do we get into this?
Like,
I say the announcements a lot on the airplane.
I figured you did. You have that voice.
And I get a lot of compliments.
I knew it right off the top.
I get a lot of compliments, and as of lately, one of them was from a fellow crew member. Bless her heart, and she goes, "Man, if you were your age in the '80s, you'd clean house with those sex lines." Like, you would have cleaned house. And I just started laughing because I'm like, you're not wrong. Like, I don't think you're wrong.
No. Oh, hell no. She has that voice.
But then I also
give me something of what you would say. Like on
a hotline?
No.
At your job.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll believe it. No, never mind.
No, let's go. Putting it on the spot. Welcome on board, ladies and gentlemen, to flight 1779 headed into Chicago O'Hare.
Did you hear the breath? The breath was the best part.
We are going to have a full flight today, so please help accommodate your fellow seatmates and make sure that all of your larger carry-on luggage is in the overhead compartment. Place any smaller items under the seat in front of you.
And then you hear the beep, the bing.
And then here's me.
The seatbelt sign has been lit.
Hey, welcome on board. Put your shit in the top. Sit down and put your seatbelt on.
Well, like, I don't know if you caught that Trevor Noah skit, because, we don't get paid when the boarding door is open. So the Trevor Noah skit was like, you got to give these people more credit, because had it been me, it would have been like, get in, put your stuff up, this, that, and the third.
It'll be like the George Lopez skit when he was saying.
I secretly love calming people down. Like, I like that my voice is soothing for them, because then I feel like it sets the tone for the flight of like, it's going to be a chill flight. This will be a good flight.
Like when George Lopez had that one CD, he was like, when you go from LA to Mexico, you have an American crew, and vice versa the other one, and that Mexican crew sucks balls, and they're like, stop bringing the buck, cabrón. What do you want a pillow for? There's no pillows. I took them all home with me. Mira, muy chingón, cabrón, want a blanket, mira. That would be the day.
That flight into Tijuana.
I don't know what I would talk about on a show. You guys have such fancy equipment. Look at the.
You don't need it.
It's so fancy.
It wasn't like this. It was not like this.
It's all got to start somewhere.
It was very boring, starting with the first episode we talked about Disney Plus. And John told the story how he has this strange infatuation with the voice of Storm. You remember the old X-Men TV show?
Yeah.
Go ahead, say it. Say what you said in the first episode.
What did I say?
Something about the winds blowing and
my wet, warm winds will blow you. Something like that. I don't know.
We're talking about the same Disney that had a lot of sexual innuendos and hidden in their movies. The same Disney.
That didn't affect me in the least. I don't know.
Yeah, it did. You're a pervert.
I'm not. Get out of here. You know what affected me? That Scrambled Spice channel. That affected me.
Because you couldn't watch it?
I had to like make out stuff. Like, I think I saw a boob there. I think.
Oh, that was definitely a boob. No, that might have been a knee.
There's more brain power.
That might have been a knee. Anyways, I want to say thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
for
I've
coming out.
had so much fun. Yeah, for
Flying out. It was our first guest that flew in for this podcast.
On Flued Airlines.
Nice. Isn't that's hard? That's bad to say, isn't it? Like the whole flued in. You got flued in. Isn't it?
Well,
like
no.
It's. A bad thing?
I thought it was from the City Girls. The starting of like one of the City Girl songs is like "Welcome to Flued Airlines."
See, every time I hear that, right when someone says you got flued in or whatever they say,
well, you got flown in. Flown
right.
is the proper.
Right. But they use it as a slang. But I've usually seen it with guys saying it to girls because like that's the girl that they brought over here. Yeah.
I wish a man will pay for my first class ticket. Honey, pay for it. Let's go to Australia. Let's go.
I can do economy.
I'm literally going to have to learn the words to Aladdin. That I can show you the world. That's going to be my pickup line from now on.
Well, I sang that song
Shiny,
on this
shivery
Really?
podcast.
Well,
I did, and I did a horrible job at it.
Well, there you go. I feel like when guys come on and they're like, you know, oh, I could do this, then they're, I can get you first class. So let's go.
That could work. That could work. That's a good pickup line.
Yeah.
But I did have a lot of fun. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. And you are more than welcome to fly back in.
Fly back in.
If you want. No, but seriously, you really are really good at the mic. You should probably,
look into it a little more.
Yeah. Imagine the stories you would be able to tell with your crewmates. And you could do it anywhere. That's the beauty of it. Like, you don't need all this crap.
True. And one of the best things is when we are in those layover hotels and have no idea what to do.
There you go. You would have crazy stories
about an iPhone, and
aviators got nothing but stories.
Hell yeah, you guys. I don't know. That's what I would do. I mean, it's a lot of work, but
that's what you would do because you're doing it right now?
No, but if I was like, if this could be a traveling podcast, I would totally do it.
Make it a traveling podcast.
How the hell am I going to put all this stuff?
What do you mean? Don't drive places, like fly places. They all pack.
We should just buy a trailer and just like stop in random places and say, hey, you want to remember what was that show where they would supposedly pick up random people and it was like a taxi cab and they would ask you questions or whatever.
Cash cab.
Was it Cash Cab?
I think so.
Like, we should do that. And these random people would be like, hey, you want to be on a podcast? Come on in.
You would be
and then we get
surprised
robbed and shot
people
live on our podcast.
Let's not do it in Chicago.
How many people would enjoy something like that?
I wonder, we might.
But do it in like a dignified area.
Yeah, let's go to Schaumburg. We'll be all right. We'll be all right there.
Dignified area, or you can even go like somewhere where people work with the general public or are outside on the streets and just talking about anybody and people who are maybe at work or whatever the case is.
I'm not going to add this part to the podcast because I feel like somebody's going to do it before we do it. I'm just going to censor this entire part right here because I think it's a pretty good idea. I actually think it's a pretty good idea.
Don't add this to the podcast, but definitely make it a thing.
You might have to keep that tripod you were going to return.
Ooh,
that
tripod.
The car pad. There's 3 of them right in front of you.
I meant
we might need to invest in a couple firearms just in case though, because that's kind of risky. You never know.
I mean, there's people on TikTok who do that all the time.
Yeah,
just
would it be any different than going
and ask somebody a question?
Yeah,
I think one of them I just saw recently was kind of messed up. He was like, "Are you going to rat on your boy or cheat on your girl?" And the guy was like,
cheat on my girl.
Mind you, he's like with his girl, and he's like, "Oh man, rat on your." Oh, he looks at her and he goes, "Cheat on my girl."
Yeah,
I think that'd be a great
rat
way
on your boy.
Anyways, again, I appreciate you flying down.
I appreciate
flying down to Chicago,
invitation for sure,
and from having a nice conversation with us, friendly conversation.
What's the farthest point from Chicago?
Furthest point?
Fucking Sweden. She flew in from Sweden. Let's just say that.
Where did you fly in from? You were in Jersey?
I was in Jersey, but Sweden's not the furthest point.
I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there.
Anyways, John, you got anything else before we sign off?
No, I'm hungry.
Are you really?
I gotta eat something.
When are you not?
I'm a snackaholic and I need to maintain my protein, so I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
He just eats though. Like a lot.
Protein, non-protein, sweets.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Vanessa, anything else you wanna? Anywhere anybody can find you? They want to reach out?
Yeah. So
United Airlines.
If you are interested in following me, you're more than welcome to on practically all social media platforms at Modern Day Travelette.
Sounds like a podcast.
You guys are good. You guys are really convincing me.
You should totally do it.
You guys are really convincing me on
one
it.
day you fly me to Greece. When you're then, I'll be your guest.
Yeah,
see,
you guys
it all works
really,
out.
So it's Travelette, spelled Travelette.
That's a nice name for
Modern Day Travelette.
There you go. That's a nice name for a podcast.
Bye-bye.
I'm telling you.
I like how he said "fly me in" instead of us, but that's all right. I'll stay here.
And that's going to be our show for today.
He said, "I'll hold down the fort here."
Yeah.
No, definitely.
No, hey, you guys want to take a little, dance down on the East Coast side? Go for it.
Okay. We will figure this out.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. John, you're good?
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. That's going to be our show for tonight. Like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, everything we said is in our opinion. And if you don't agree with it, you can piss off.